have a cold night in the Northeast. A bad evening to be without a parka, but we are set for football at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go. And it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with the Cincinnati Bengals. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. This defense for the Jets, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They go jet sweep. Washington with it. And he's got some space here. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
I think the reason this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
So in Jet territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 39-yard line. A first carry for the former Oklahoma Sooner, Joe Mixon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And now they will throw it with Burrow. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. The 20. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral it down near the 11-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time,
and he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Michael Carter with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jets have taken a first-quarter lead. Point after, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Bengals nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the half.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Past the 20. And deep he goes into Jets territory before being taken down.
61 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. Touchdown, Bengals!
Joe Mixon.
Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. 5-3 their record at the halfway point, and you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple of things working against them, and number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
Now a throw here to his running back, and they'll get him down here at the 23.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you, and you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off?
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
On first down, Murray. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Burrow on play action. That goes out wide to Murray.
And running with power here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
2nd down and 3. Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Burrow on 3rd down. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Wilson. Open man is Denzel Mims. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
On 1st and 10, it's Carter. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Wilson. Man open, that's Damian Ratley. Room here to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. They'll run on 1st down. Carter down right around the 25. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
They go play action with Wilson. Rolling to his left. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up for the 1st and goal.
They'll try to run for it with Carter.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown.
Michael Carter.
His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. The extra point up and good. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bengals drive about to get going.
They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Now Joe Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
92 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Play action. It's Burrow. He finds his man complete. It's Murray. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find the answers, and they've got to find them quick.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they go play action now. Burrow. And his throw is incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Mixon with a first down carry. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Burrow. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They go jet sweep. Washington with it. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
It's a bit of a dangerous part of the field for him to break into their bag of tricks, but for a minute there, I thought it was going to set up perfectly for him. Instead, they don't get into the end zone, but they do pick up positive yardage.
Mixon.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Bengals have broken our tie as they take the lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
Wilson's throw here caught by Mims. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On first down, it's Carter, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Corey Davis, the intended receiver, and it's third down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. From the gun on third down, Wilson toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Second and 10. Now it's Wilson. Steps away to his left. They'll check this one down to Carter. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 25-yard line.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
They'll run on first down. Carter. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Here's the line.
Now Wilson.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Wilson. And bringing it in, it's Davis. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal.
They'll run with Carter.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes him.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets.
Michael Carter.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Jets have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half.
Extra point safely through. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21-all the score as the kick's away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And we'll see what they opt to do with just 14 seconds remaining until intermission.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
With both of these offenses having their way, it's not likely they'll need to be doing a whole lot at halftime. But the defenses are definitely in need of some adjusting. And for the call of the second half, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
Yeah, Coach, certainly no shortage of action in those first 2 quarters. Definitely got to work on my touchdown calls, so we'll see how much voice I have left for the second half here.
And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Here's 2nd and 10. There's Wilson to throw. And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked off at the 33. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Now it's Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. Touchdown! Joe Mixon from 8 yards out. And the Bengals on just 2 plays have taken the lead.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wilson. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. Not much there, only a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire deep for Ratley. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
On first down, Mixon. Space to run past the 20. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. 117 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
On 2.
Here's a run with Mixon, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon punching it in from a yard away. And thanks to the interception, the Bengals offense cashes in with 6. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead now up to 14.
Bengals 35, Jets 21.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man left side. That's the tight end, Herndon. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Wilson here, pass caught by Carter. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Boy, a lot of moving parts on this play, but what a nice design to leak the running back out to the left and send him down the field. And a good job spotting him and hitting him for a big play.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. Play action. It's Wilson. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Come on, set. 15 Lonnie, 15 Lonnie. Hey, pick your game up. SOS. 25, check 25. Tighten up, tighten up.
They'll run on first down. It's Carter. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. Hey,
Mike, 55. Check, 55.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off inside the 10. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough, and I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Burrow on 3rd down. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they run with Mixon, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got a lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. This one certainly has not gone according to script. You would have thought on paper that this offense would have its way here, but they certainly have not, and they trail big. After this, it figures to be a quiet trip home. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. On 3rd down, Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Johnson. And all the way down to the 26.
Come on now, let's go.
It's a big play there for the Jets on 3rd down. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. Got an open man. It's Ratley. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 13-yard line.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Let's get off the field. He's checking.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the Bengals' 14-yard line.
Now it's Wilson. A throw to the flat for Carter. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Only able to gain a couple there. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson. And that is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bengals will get the football back. The Bengals drive about to get going. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless, take care of the ball on the way out.
Now Burrow on first down. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big play there on the catch and run.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
On first down, Mixon. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
And, Brandon, this is where it pays to have a big back who can take over a football game, especially in the fourth quarter when you've got the lead, your ability to not just wear people down, but close games out.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Cincinnati, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Miami next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll lose an important one here as that.